Okay, for me it's easier to walk, especially when I'm a little bit nervous. So I would like to first give my gratitude to the organizers, to the Central European Academy for inviting us, and that we have opportunity to give a little glitch into our mental health problems of children in Croatia. I have to say that my colleague Ivana Radić and I have been doing two separate presentations because we actually saw that it is impossible to give you any, it's going to be an overview, it's not going to be something very detailed. However, we wanted to give you the overview of the mental health as well as the rights of the child in connection to the criminal procedure when the children are perpetrators and the children are victims. But before that, we would like to give you some overview of the this special issue of mental health, which has a special impact to the, of course, the children who are perpetrators and children who are victims. So, just briefly to go through, I've done here only the Convention on the Rights of the Child, which actually deals with which has some provisions of health of children, and our constitution, Croatian constitution, which actually gives us an overview of some, of course, the right on health as well as the right on health of the child, but not specifically. So the right of the health is prescribed in constitution, is stipulated in constitution as a general term. And of course, the constitution has stipulations of the special, especially regulates the special protection of the child. So we have those provisions, we have those rights, we have the right to health and the special protection of child. But there is no special provision which talks about a child health. However, when you take it all together, you understand. There's lots of other conventions, and even I will give you a quick overview of those conventions, not going into the detail. But what is very interesting and what is in focus of our mental health is this strategic framework for mental health from 2022 to 2030, as you can see, because we noticed that in Croatia there is a lot of young people, lots of child who have a really big problem with mental health. I will give you some statistics afterwards. So this, then we have National Youth Program from 2023 to 2025, action plan for obesity prevention, because we have lots of children who are kind of little obesity and they have to do something or to get to be very cautious with food or to get some sport, to get into some sports. We have Ombudsman report, and which actually critical gaps in mental health services, because we have lots of issues there, and emphasize the need for more professionals and equitable cases. I will be coming to that just a little bit afterwards. UNICEF Croatia initiatives we have, support for children's mental health through resources of youth, parents and educators, and there is a focus on building resilience and addressing mental health literacy. So, to move on, this strategic framework for mental health, this purpose is to define long-term goals to enhance mental health protection. We have to align it with other strategic documents, reduce mental health disorders because we have it, and disabilities, and increase accessibility to the mental health services, because we have lots of children who are not capable to have an adequate mental health. We have a really little number of so-called pediatricians with focus on mental health, or psychiatrists, pediatricians. That's a very big problem in Croatia. Of course, we have only one mental institution for the children with mental health problems. We call it KUKSA in Kukuljevića. Only one mental institution for the children in Croatia altogether for the whole country, and which is really kind of for where the children with mental disorders can be locked down under the key, you know, and it's so severe cases go there, which are actually attempts of suicide or something like that. Every other cases are not in that institution, but maybe should have been, but they are not because of lack of the placement. So primary development areas awareness about mental health problems. We have done that in Croatia. A lot of people are aware of it. Timely detection and diagnosis. This is the problem because we are late with that. And effective treatment and rehabilitation. We are also late with that. We have strategic objectives, preservation and improvement of mental health. We are trying. We are really trying. Prevention and early recognition of mental health problems. You have to be aware that the first instance actually is family who will detect these problems, then the schools, and schools often, they don't want to do anything. So this is a problem. And we had a lot of cases of mental disorder kids, even kids who are 9 or 10, and nothing was done. So this is a problem that will go further. And if it's not solved on time, the kids doesn't have the attention, medical attention, the problems will only go further. Expanding community mental health care, that's what we are trying to do. We have, of course, challenges that what I've been talking just a little bit earlier. Insufficient mental health professionals. You see, we have it only 52 in Croatia for all the, and we have, I haven't said that, we have around 670,000, let's say, plus minus 8, so 670,000 children. Not all of them have a problem, but only that you bear in mind we have only 52 psychiatrists and psychologists in Croatia. So this is not, I think, good practice and a great example for dealing with mental health. Priority national youth program, priority area are mental health within the context of COVID, because lots of children had a big problem when they were locked down. And key measures were health protection during and after pandemic, that conduct research and collected data, and we have done it. We will see one study that has been conducted, improving mental health literacy, developing training programs. Pomozi da, it's help for youth workers to recognize the mental health issues, preventing obesity and promoting healthy lifestyles. That's very important for the children not to have mental health problems. So these are the statistics. So pandemic impact was very, very high. And we can say that we kind of made some structure between university students, high school students, and we have some other findings which we found very, very interesting. So only to show you, you see the university students say that 30% of them experience mild depression. It's very serious stuff. Then we have 23 report severe depression, and 17% express extreme anxiety. So if you kind of sum this up, it's more than it's around 70%, right? So only 30% we have a kind of mentally health, very in a good shape students. So this is kind of very worrying stuff we have here in Croatia. High school students, high school pupils actually, but we put it as students, you can see 77.4% they have observed depressive symptoms, and 87% report anxiety. What do you think about that? High school pupils, they're all in depression or in anxiety. It's a problem. In Croatia, it's a really big problem, this mental health issue. So what is also interesting, in 2023, we had 43 attempted suicide, and 7 children died. 7 children commit suicide. They were not recognized in time. We have Brave telephone, we call it Hrabri telephone. They had calls, and 30% of those calls were related to suicide ideation. 21 to self-harm. Self-harm is very popular in Croatia. And 20 to depression. I think these statistics are very serious. Additional challenges. 34% of Croatian youth report feeling dissatisfied with their mental health. But this is something that's not objectively, but their subjective opinion is that they are not well. 70% of children live in household with income issues, and that's something what stressed them out. Rising cases of virtual bullying, it's around 60% during pandemic. Also very interesting and very serious. Bullying can lead to a lots of other mental health issues. So, the biggest gaps are, as we said, specialists, the limited number of specialists, regional disparities in access to care, because all those professionals are actually connected to the Zagreb, to the central, not to the other places in Croatia. So the accessibility of the care is very harsh. Please, the time. Yes. So the proposed solutions are that school-based mental health support, the schools actually determine and to recognize the problems. This is not the case currently, but maybe it will be better. Psychologists integrated into education, that would be great. Some schools have so-called expert teams with the psychologists, some don't have. Multidisciplinary community service, local mental health with adequate resources, mobile teams, etc. So, there are rights of the juvenile offenders. That's something that Ivana will be presenting in a special presentation. And what is very interesting, which criminal offenses they are doing. They have a special mental needs, and that is something that should be specifically and pointed out when the specialists are and the lawyers and the judges are dealing with that. So current data, we have around, there is a lot of children in institutions, and the children in institutions are put there by family law measures as well as criminal law measures. They are all together in those institutions. There is 297 children which show need for mental care. 168 have diagnosed psychological conditions. 129 exhibit symptoms without formal diagnosis, but it should be approached to them, and they recognize that. So we have an urgent needs, continuous and timely therapeutic interventions, expanded access to trained professional and consistent care. I wanted only to show you when the children are perpetrators. We have these educational institutional measures. In 2022 we had 51, and we have in 2023 41. So in those 297, some of those kids are also there. We don't have precise data. So this is very important, this media literacy and mental health, because it focuses on social media impact on mental health and countering misinformation. And I think that all of you who have children which are 10 or more years old have those problems with cell phones, with internet, with computers, laptops, etc. And our studies showed that you can see how many hours they spend on those devices, on the internet and on the cell phones. So weekday and weekend. Weekday, 40% of students spend more than 3 hours daily on social media. and 11 excessively play video games, you know, for 3 or 5 hours in row. Weekend usage, we have 62% of students spend over 3 hours a day on social media. These are some 3 to 5 or 5+ hours. And 30% of students play video games for more than 3 hours a day. You can see around 30% 5 hours and more. So it is kind of addiction. So to sum up, to conclude, mental health of youth remains a critical public health priority in Croatia. So we have significant structural gaps hinder equitable access to care. That's really one big issue. And some programs like Pomozi Da, HAL 4, are increase of psychology staffing are steps forward. And this program HELP, Pomozi Da, it's done by Croatian Institute for Health. So it's not something that NGOs are doing, but Croatian Institute for Health. And of course we have advocacy and public awareness, especially through media literacy. That is something which is really essential, especially in school and family. Thank you for your attention.